everybody, welcome to the video, welcome to the channel. I am back doing what's sold, hopefully. I have been coughing. I still have a cough, so I may cut the video if I do film one coming on or a coughing attack. But that was a really bad virus I had. It knocked me out. Even when I was sick earlier, back in earlier December, I was still able to make videos, but this was really, really bad. So just make sure to take care of yourself. And, you know, I had planned to make a video. I'm going to use the what solds that I have planned from that. But the talking points, I'm going to talk about, you know, illness, get a little personal here. But, you know, and how, you know, these things can interrupt, you know, life and what you're doing. But I'm going to save that just because, you know, I don't want to do so many cuts and, you know, I don't want to be going through a coughing attack. While I'm trying to get a good point across. But Happy New Year. This is my first video of 2025 of the what solds. And let's see. Got 5 what solds. And I want to talk, just quickly, briefly touch on glass really quick. Because whenever I have downtime, I just watch a lot of videos. So I was watching, you know, it just seems that there's a little bit of confusion between glass and crystal. And, you know, the difference between the two. So what we have here, we have a glass. You know, you see me drink out of this cup. This is a glass. Let me hold it over here. This is a glass cup. It's glass. Now, something like this, people would call this crystal. That's crystal. This is a Baccarat bear. So, yeah, obviously, you could tell this one's a lot clearer. The bear, that is. It has a shape, and why do they call this one crystal? This is still glass. This is still glass. I'm telling you right now. This is not a crystal. Okay. It's crystal in name. Now we get the crystal from the reason why I want to describe this, just because, you know, I feel it's important just to, yeah, it's not gonna, you know, help you sell it any better or not. But it's just important to know, you know, I feel it's important to know these things, just to be educated in these things as well, too. Anything, and hopefully, you know, it gives me a point, or it gives me a chance to, you know, use some of this useless information floating around my brain. But the reason why we call this crystal is because of the Italians, basically. Murano, you know, the island of Murano's in Italy, the Venetians, you know, Italy, Italian. And so they were making glass, but putting additives into it, which is why we see lead. Okay, what's the purpose? To make it stronger, to be able to get a shape, make it more durable, be able to cut it, because this kind of glass is incredibly fragile. Yeah, this is just glass. I don't think there's any additives to this thing. Very fragile. This one here, you can definitely feel the density. It's a lot heavier. It will still chip and break, but it's a little bit more durable and it can hold the shape. And they can potentially cut it if they want to cut it. So they started calling it crystal because of they're trying to achieve, or because it has some of the properties of crystal. Now what properties? Just basically the durability or the hardness, or they're trying to achieve that hardness of crystal, because crystals are incredibly tough. And when you want to think of crystals, think of a diamond, you know, the hardest mineral on earth. Sapphires, you know, they use sapphires in a lot of high-end watches, because why? You know, your watch gets banged around all the time, and sapphires are incredibly durable, scratch resistant. So those are crystals. Quartz is a crystal, and they're very, very tough. Obviously, you know, you could tell people, they cut them, they shape them. Obviously, they can still break like anything else, but they're incredibly durable and tough. And so by adding stuff to glass, the goal is to try to achieve some of that toughness that crystal has. And so, and, you know, kind of resembles crystal as well, too. So, which is why they started calling it crystal, even though it's not a crystal. Molecularly, it's not crystal. It's still glass. It just has additives to it, such as lead. There's other things, too. But lead, I think, is, you know, everybody sees, you know, little stickers contain so much lead. So because they add this stuff to it, it doesn't change it. I mean, it doesn't change it from a molecular standpoint. It doesn't make it into crystal. It doesn't, adding these things to the item doesn't mean, oh, change it into crystal, water into wine, whatever. No, it's not, it doesn't do that. It just increases the strength, the durability, the clarity as well, too. It increases the clarity, what they add to it as well. And people have been doing this for, many, many, many years. So they have the craft pretty well perfected. So, well, this is, people call this crystal. It's still glass. It's not a crystal. It's not a crystal at all. Okay. It's just a label that they put on it to tell people or to tell the customer that it's more higher end, essentially. It's a marketing thing, as everything is. But still, it's clear glass, just like every other piece of glass. It's just a little bit tougher, a little bit more durable, can hold a shape, can be cut, all that. Okay. Let's get into the what solds. Got my... I need more honey water. So let's go ahead and get into the what solds here. So that way I won't start coughing here. You may see some cuts in the video. Oh, by the way, you can jump. I always forget to mention that you can jump to the what solds. They're in the chapters. I should have done that in the beginning, or said that in the beginning. Okay, so the first item here is a tablet. Now, if you're thinking a tablet, well, not very exciting, not very unusual. What is unusual about this is, first of all, the brand is an ASUS brand. Not very common. It's been around the brand has been around for a very long time. If you're familiar with computers, computer building, but they do make other stuff. They make a gaming headset now. They make laptops, tablets. But what's interesting about this tablet is it has an Intel chipset or an Intel processor, which isn't typical of handhelds nowadays. Typically, they come out of Qualcomm. So when you find Intel, it's a little bit more of a different, a little bit better. In my opinion, it's a little bit better as far as its resale value goes. Because with Intel, you can probably add Windows to this, and a lot of people are into adding Windows to trust me. This does come with Android on it. But sometimes if it does have an Intel chipset, you can upload a version of Windows to this. You're not going to put Windows 11 on this or Windows 10 on this thing. Maybe an older variant. I've done it. More geared towards people that tinker and stuff like that with these things. So definitely something to look out for. You got to be cautious because a lot of the batteries on these things are, long dead already. So they got to be plugged in to work. But if you see anything with an Intel chipset, can be a sign of something that's a little bit more valuable on the secondary market on the resale value. I don't think there's any Intel stuff nowadays as far as tablets go. I think they're all older stuff. I do have a little computer stick, and it is Intel based. So it's really cool. It looks like a Roku device or an Amazon Fire Stick. You just plug it into HDMI and you have an instant little Windows computer. Really, really cool. It's very, very tiny. It's like a stick of gum. So really cool. But just keep your eye out. Keep your eye out for Intel-based items because they can be, bring a little bit more of a premium. What did it sell for? Not crazy amount of money. $20 is what this tablet sold for. $6.66 is what the shipping was. And it went in a padded poly bag. So, obviously, I wrapped it up in bubble wrap first as well, too. So, next item is not that one. I might have shown that in another video. Oops, what is this little thing up here? Oh, delete that. I don't know what that is. Okay. This is a Talavera pottery, so Mexican pottery, and this is La Reina no Cocina. So really, really cool. It's just a pottery sign. It's just something to hang, and what does it mean? It means the queen doesn't cook. Is what it said. Is what that means. So it's a really cool piece. There are fairly common. Do come across them from time to time. I have not come across this one here. There is one that my wife wants, and it's called, I forgot exactly what it says, but it's something something PP room. It's really, really cool. But similar sign. I forget if it has flowers on it or not, but Talavera really, really has a distinct look. And once you see it, like you can't unsee it. Once you get it in your hands, it's hard to not see it out there. So really, really cool. Keep your eye out for it. Talavera is popular, and it will sell. It will sell pretty well. $21.18 is what this sold for. $6.94 is what the shipping was, and this one in a padded poly bag. Yeah, pottery in a padded poly bag. And how did I do that? Well, I wrapped it about 5 times in bubble wrap first, and then I put it in the padded poly bag, and then I sent it on its way. Perfectly fine. It's incredibly durable. It was a very thick piece of pottery as well too. Again, use your judgment. Sometimes if it's very thin, it might not work. Depending on also where it's going to go. This was going to Southern California, so not too far of a trip from where I'm at. If this was going overseas or maybe across the country, I would have probably put it in a thin little box before I put it in a padded poly bag. But really, really cool piece. Definitely keep your eye out for these things. They do really well. There's all kinds of Talavera out there, not just signs. Okay. And next item here. Why do they keep doing that? Harry Potter butterbeer. Now, there's other butterbeer aprons, but this one I couldn't really find this exact one when I was comping things out. But it's a really cool one. It's very heavy duty. It's a very heavy canvas, and I really didn't know exactly what to price it at. It felt like more of a premium product. So I did price it up. I ended up accepting an offer of $33 for it, and the shipping was $10.04 on this item. It was fairly heavy. So I was actually able to put this into saved a little bit on shipping. I was able to put this in the, what do you call it? Priority padded flat rate envelope. So that worked pretty well. But it was just really, really cool. It was a really cool butterbeer. There are other butterbeer ones out there. But again, nothing like this one. It was a bit different, so couldn't really figure out exactly where it came from. But it had the butterbeer symbol on it. Maybe it was an employee one from Universal. I don't know. But really, really cool. Keep your eye out for it. Keep your eye out. Butterbeer stuff does really well. The cups do really well. The glasses do really well. The cups, the plastic ones, you just have to make sure to pay as low as possible. They don't sell for that much, but they do sell pretty regularly. And the glass ones do a little bit better. Okay. Next item is Captain Hook cup. Who doesn't remember these cups from back in the day, back in the 80s and 90s? Hook was my favorite Peter Pan movie with, oh man, I'm not going to remember the name right now. I remember Dustin Hoffman and played Peter Pan, the comedian. God, I can't remember off the top of my head right now. It'll probably come to me as I'm thinking about it. But this was given out, or I'm not really sure how you got it, but it's from Blockbuster. But these plastic cups do really, really well. They don't sell for an incredible amount of money, so you got to get them really cheap or in a large bundle. I got this with a bunch of other ones, and not just movie ones, but I also got them with sports teams as well too, college, and they slowly been selling off. They don't sell for over. I think I sold the UCLA one for 10 something, but this one here $7.46, $5.01. That's $7. That's $5.01 on the shipping. So. Oh, and this one went in a small box. This one just went in one of my hat boxes. Basically because I don't want the plastic to crack. It is pretty old. Kind of funny, huh? I don't want the plastic to crack on this one, but but the pottery one, I have no problem sending that because I know it's not going to crack. This one I'm worried about cracking. So this one did go in a box. Excuse me. And just a little bit of paper, packaging paper, and that's it. So really, really cool. Keep out for these cups. Pay as low as possible. And then the last item before I sign off here and continue to heal my body is an Apple backpack. Apple merch, employee merch. Certain companies do better than others. Apple is incredibly popular. Small sling bag, commuter bag, travel bag, workwear. $23.79 is what this sold for. $8.79 was the shipping on that. So padded poly bag, piece of cake right here. So definitely keep your eye out for this employee merch. You know, really depends what the company is. Apple, obviously, kind of a no-brainer. Tesla, also too. Tesla stuff does really well. NVIDIA, I've talked about NVIDIA stuff before as well too. NVIDIA does incredibly well. Yeah, just keep your eye out for merch stuff. And Steam is you know, if you're into downloading games and stuff like that, they sell games and you can download them and all that. But Steam or Valve, also known for their Half-Life series. If you see anything, and I found this out there in the wild before, that's labeled Black Mesa, pick it up. It's associated with Half-Life, and Half-Life is insanely popular. I'm a huge Half-Life fan. My favorite game of all time is Half-Life. Half-Life 2 to be more specific, but I like all Half-Life. I'm just a huge Half-Life fan. And Half-Life is big. Half-Life, you know, people that are fans of Half-Life will recognize stuff from Half-Life, and they will pay up for it. Trust me. So if you see anything, any merch, shirts, anything marked Black Mesa, it's from the Half-Life game. Pick it up. It'll sell well. There's other stuff too as well associated with Half-Life as well. That will sell incredibly well, but just, you know, one of those sleeper names, something that you wouldn't even know. Okay, I'm signing off. See you next video.
Hey, you've made it to the end. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed this content, please like the video by hitting the thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel by hitting my little round icon down below. It really does help us out here. Also, you'll find a couple of selections. You'll see a playlist of videos to watch and my most recent video that I did upload.